Alright, welcome back. Today we are going to create, what are we creating? A nice looking login form with a bit of a background blur and a card using Bootstrap. This is just using elements in Bootstrap to create this nice form. Doesn't actually do anything, but it looks fairly nice. And we have it in dark mode and light mode, so depending on the browser it should switch. Alright, let's start off with our blank basic index. And we'll add our bootstrap. I'm actually using the dark bootstrap for this at the moment. This is kind of an older version, I think. Bootstrap Dark 5, so it's actually a custom version, I think, of Bootstrap. And then to kind of let it know if we want dark or light mode, we add a meta tag with a name of color scheme and then say dark or light. So we want to prefer dark and then have light as well. And now I did actually just have this form by itself, but I thought it'd be nice to add it to a card, otherwise it just sits over by the side. To make the body look a little bit more exciting, we just added a background image. To the body, I just wanted to add just this background here, and we just go background URL to body, and then we add our image URL, and then we want to center it and no repeat. And then for the background, so you should be able to see that background. I think I just grabbed this one off Pexels. I'll link that in the comments. Now I'm working. Why does stuff never work? What did I do wrong there? Oh, because I think we have a double background. Body display. Let's just replace this whole body tag with something that actually works. We want to display everything flex in the body just for this form, so it should center it as well. I think I'm loading this correct one, that's why. Index basic. Yes, I was editing the wrong file. I'm very smart. This is my one that I just use a copy of. So we might actually be editing this index BS card for bootstrap card. And then we have this, and it's going to flash at us, which is annoying. I'll turn off this refresh for a sec. Ah, yes, and we want to set this background to cover. Have we done that? No. Body background cover. Background size cover will make this background not look squashed. Or do we want to do contain? I'm not sure. This looks better on my test one for some reason. Look, my test one makes it go nice and large, and this one makes it go all squashed. Maybe it's because we haven't got any content in there yet. We'll see what happens when we add the card. So this is our card that we're going to add here. Does this make it look a little bit better? Yeah, I think it just pushes it out a little bit. So then it'll end up pushing this background all the way down. That's just a blank card, and we've got that centered because everything in body at the moment is displayed flex and center, and then justified to center as well. And then on the card, we just want to add an MT5, so it's got a margin top of 5, so it doesn't sit right up against the edge there. And then we will start adding our form elements. So we just go form, and the form doesn't even need anything special on it. If we want our elements to have a little bit of padding on them, we'll just add div class and then MB, so we'll put margin bottom on each form element. And then we'll add a label. This is a label for our input of email 1, and we're going to call the form label email address. And if you wrap the input within this, or if it says for, it then will link to the input field when you click it. So then after we put the input field, input type email with the ID the same as the label. And then as you click the label, it will go to that. And then we also have an ARIA field, which will describe it for text readers, that kind of thing. So then we will put in our help field. So then it knows that this input is described by this email help, and it will say, we'll never share your email address. So you could probably put something more helpful than that, like this is an email address field. Voice got a bit crusty today. Now I'll see what that looks like. So now we have a form with email address and our field, and then the sub caption underneath. So that kind of looks neat. And then as you click if you click this, it will actually edit this field. It is only email, so it will only accept an email in the format email, and then an @ and then something, and then dot, and then something else. So it will have an error with this if you try and submit it, but that's only just the HTML validation that will do that. So now to add the next field, we just can duplicate this div with our margin bottom and then replace it with the next lot, which is our password field. Obviously this is not going to work, it's just the layout for it. And this is very similar to the first one where we have a label for input password, and then we have our form label password, and then the input type of password. So that means that it will hide the characters as you type them. So you can type it in there and it will not show the characters. And then we just need our checkbox, which is also another very similar layout here, which we have a margin bottom of 3 and a form check. And this one we have a input type checkbox with a form check input. And this links to this so that when you click this, it will link together. So now we have our remember me. So that means you can click on the text as well as just clicking in this box. Just makes the form a little bit easier to use. If you click just here or here, it won't select that. And then finally, we just want to add our submit button, which is just a normal button with a type of submit under here. And there we have the completed form. So we have our email address, password, and a remember checkbox, and then submit won't actually do anything, even though it is submitting the form. Obviously, you need to put some more code in there for it to work. But that is our kind of nicely formatted form in Bootstrap. Anyway, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.